Sin and Truth. As the young girl and her companions reunite with the monster, the others summoned to the plaza wander the cage, but they do not understand why they must proceed through the cage. Mama speaks. The histories of humanity stored here are the history of sin, and in order to face the enemy, they must first free themselves from the cage by atoning for their sins. In the cage, all branches and timelines of history are held. Some of them are a mirror that reflect truth. If the witch and the assassin focus on their own pasts, they can atone for their sin and learn a truth. For the witch, it was her friendship with a girl, a beast. The girl, in the confusion of blossoming love, killed a dear friend of the witch. The witch even now cannot forgive her. But the witch swears from now to try and see things from her friend's point of view. The assassin faces her way of being. She was born into a house that fostered killers, and she felt she was chained to this fate. But like the witch, as she travels through the cage, she has a realization. It is her own choice to swing her blade, or not. Weapon Stories. The prisoner man searches for his wife with the black-clad girl AI in the depths of the cage. There, they come to understand the cage is a digital world in an enormous data server. The summon originate from weapon stories. All the records of the branches are sealed in weapons, which is to say, the weapons are the vessels of history. The two reach the deepest part of the cage. There stands the library, where bookshelves stretch up to the heavens. All the stories kept here are of humanity's sins, a record of the same mistakes repeated. History is woven by humankind committing sins, then atoning for them. On learning this, the pair act on the will that they had hid away deep in their hearts until now. The man defies the hopelessness engulfing his wife, and strives for the future, come what may. The girl AI accepts her imperfection she had for so long rejected, and to the white-clad songstress she considered her rival, she tells her her feelings. Their actions in confronting their woe-filled pasts may have opened a new path into the future. Two soldiers. Multiple times on the road to find truth, the summoned see a boy in a military uniform. The boy, like the others, is summoned from a weapon story and wanders the cage. But unlike the others, for whatever reason, he was never given direction. When the boy meets the others summoned from weapon stories, sometimes he gives help, sometimes he guides the way. In doing so, the boy comes to understand the road he must travel. He must find his companion, the captain from his army. At this time, that captain is helping with other records of memory. However, during his efforts, the attacks on the cage corrupt him. Regret over losing his squad mates, losing his sense of self in swelling negative emotions. But in that state, the boy he rescued says to him,
少なくとも俺はあんたに救われたんだ。あんたがいたからここまで来れたんだ。
The heartfelt words from the usually curt boy, they pierce through and restore the captain's spirit. Atonement and Deliverance. A boy with a staff hurries along, another of those summoned by Mama. The attacks on the cage by the enemy intensify, and the landscape further twists and warps. It mirrors the tortured feelings the boy holds inside. The prince prays to save his attendant. When the plaza collapsed, the clockwork soldier rescued the prince only to fall into the abyss himself. There is a bond between them stronger than that of lord and servant. Joining him is the thief. The thief's cheerfulness restores the smile to the prince's face, but on seeing the state of the cage, the two tremble. The boy's father, the tyrannical king, stole the future of the woman with the prostheses and of her younger sister. The thief's fate was sealed in his meeting with the fortune-teller, but they vow that they can't run from reality any longer and head on to meet it. The thief faces the truth of the fortune-teller who lowers her eyes and accepts her for how she wishes to be seen. He rejects his life of stealing and being stolen from, and she gazes at him with a smile. The prince, after atoning for his sin, reaches his hand out to the sisters to help. In response, the raging hatred that gnawed at the woman with the prostheses quenches. All that remains is her love for her sister. Their sins channel out from the cage, and finally, at the end of the prince's road, he reunites with his attendant.
王子はいつも私を救ってくださると言った。
The muscles in the attendant's face relax. The prince witnesses a smile on the face for the first time. Mournful mother. The prince and the attendant meet with the boy carrying the sleeping captain, and they return to the plaza that was supposed to have collapsed.
"敵の妨害を振り切ってようやく姿を現せたわ。1、2、3、4って全然揃ってないじゃない。
Mama appears and lets out a lament. Those summoned from the records should have returned here after finishing salvaging their data. As Mama speaks in a panicked tone, the plaza rings with the sound of bells. Along with the great sound, there appears a tatarigami, a cursed god. The giant deer-like creatures roam the cage, but this one seems odd. The cursed god changes form. It becomes a stone statue in the shape of a woman. Like the antlers of the deer, the slender arms reach to the sky, as if in prayer. The statue moans a barely coherent curse and begins attacking the summoned. It then expels smoke from its mouth, and the summoned lose consciousness. They wake and find the cage is greatly changed. Around them sounds the song of the statue. Both beautiful and eerie, it upends the cage, spilling out the worlds held in the bird hutches. Mama says she will remove to safety those summoned from the weapon memories, but that she needs them to repel the attacks and buy her time. The summon unite into an overwhelming force and demolish the threat. After destroying the statue, Mama transmits those summoned from the records. They find themselves in a blank space with swaying white curtains. So says Mama. She will deliver them from the cage to the world.